Good afternoon, my brothers and sisters of followers of the way. Before I can start it this afternoon, let's give praise and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahuwah, and praise and glory to our King, Yahushua HaMashiach. Now, this afternoon, I have a very powerful teaching that's coming to you, and as I have been telling you in prior teachings, I was going to be putting a board up and breaking down our Heavenly Father's set apart and only name. And as you see up here, I pretty much got everything prepared up here so that I wouldn't have to be writing all this up here when I started the teaching. So I'm going to go through all of this, and then I'm going to go through the process of breaking our Heavenly Father's true name down. Okay, now once I have finished breaking down our Heavenly Father's true name, then I'm going to put the false names up there that I see the different brothers in these different sects operating under using, and we're going to put those names to the test and see if they stand up to the test of time, because it's very important that the messenger or the messengers of Yahuwah set the record straight to what the only and true name is, and then people can go from there. If they want to continue to follow under the false name, then that's on them, but we're going to expose everything this afternoon in this teaching. So now let's get right into it. So now the first thing that I want to do is I just want to go through the board and go through some of the things that we see up here on the board, just to give you some understanding before I actually begin to break the name down. Now, you will notice up here we see the ancient Paleo-Hebrew up here of the father name, the 4 letters, which they call the Tetragrammaton up here, but in Hebrew. We got the Aramaic right here, the Tetragrammaton, which people know as the YHWH, which is the Yo, Hey, Why, Hey. And we have it in English, we have it in Aramaic, and we have it in Hebrew. So basically what we have here is that the YHWH, this is the same thing. If we were speaking in Aramaic and I was writing in Aramaic, I would write writing this down to Aramaic people, I would write it like this. I would write the YHWH as YHWH, because this is the same thing. This right here means Y. This right here means Y. This means H, and this means H. It's the same thing, but it's in different languages. We have the Paleo-Hebrew, we have Aramaic, and then we have English. So of course we speak English. So this is Hebrew and English. This is Hebrew and Aramaic, and this is the Paleo-Hebrew. And this is what you will see on most of the artifacts that they're finding, and over there in the Middle East or whatnot. You'll see the 4 letters right here of our Heavenly Father's set apart name. Okay, so just so you can understand that, because we're going from different languages, we're going from the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, we're going through the Aramaic, and then here we go in English to those that speak English. Okay, so now this is why you will see mainly the YHWH. This is what that means. So now, my brothers and sisters, what I'm going to be teaching you today is that the different scholars that's out here that's operating in the earth, different teachers or whatever, they make it seem like it's so hard to break down our Heavenly Father's true name. Okay? And what I'm going to be showing you today is that it's not hard to figure out what our Heavenly Father's true name is. You got scholars that are reading books that they make it seem like it's complicated, or we don't say it for this particular reason. But they want to teach you, everything else in Hebrew. They'll tell you what Yahuwah is, which we know is Isaiah. They'll tell you everything else that you need to know in Hebrew, but they can't tell you what these 4 letters is, what our Heavenly Father's true name is. Okay? And I'm going to be giving that to you this afternoon. Now, the only thing that we need, my brothers and sisters, to figure out what our Heavenly Father's true name is the set apart word. And as you see, we have Exodus 3:14 and Exodus 3:15. And this is all we need to figure out what our Heavenly Father's true name is. So let's get right into the scriptures. We're going right to the book of Exodus, chapter 3. And we're going to start at verse 14. And I'm going to walk you through this. So now we're in Exodus, chapter 3. And let's start at verse 14. And it reads, "And Elohim said unto Moshe," or Moses as you may know, "I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you." Now, let me start breaking down verse 14, because a lot of people see that word God right there, and they don't understand that what's actually right there under the word God is the word Elohim. Okay, that word God that they got here in our English Bible means Elohim. Okay, so what that's letting us know right there when it says, "And Elohim said moreover to Moshe," or Moses as you may know, what this is letting us know, Elohim is letting us know that there are 2 people on the scene. Okay, it's letting us know that there are 2 mighty ones on the scene. Because as I have taught you in prior teachings, that the word God, in this instance right here, means Elohim. And we understand that that's plural for all, meaning the mighty one or the almighty. So we understand when we see the word Elohim here, we understand that there's two people on the scene. Now, let's read this again. It says that Elohim, meaning there's two people on the scene. And it said unto Masha, I am that I am. And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you. So now we see that Masha gave, when he asked what was the Father's name, he gave him the meaning. When he says I am that I am, he's giving him the meaning of his name, as I'm about to get ready and go to. But we got to understand that Yahuwah, which I am that I am, I'm going to be showing you, we're going to get Yahuwah from that. But we understand that Yahuwah is not the one that's sending him. The scriptures is bringing out that I am have sent me to you. So I am is the one that's sending Masha unto the children of Israel. Now, let's begin to break this down. Now, we need to understand, my brothers and sisters, this right here is Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya, which means I am that I am. Okay? And this is the Hebrew right here. And this is just translated into English right here. So in the Hebrew, this is what was said. Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. In our English Bibles, it's translated as I am that I am. So it's the same thing, okay? Is what we need to understand. So now, as we begin to get into this, now let me read verse 15 real quick before I don't want to get ahead of myself. Now listen, now let's listen to verse 15. It says, and Elohim said moreover unto Masha, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel. And they got right here in your English Bibles, the Lord God of your fathers, which is actually the tetragrammaton appearing right here in the scriptures, which is the Yahweh, is where we get the YHWH. This is what actually appears right here in verse 15 under this word Lord that they got right here. So it's actually saying that Yahuwah Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob has sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. So what happened here is that Yah, which I'm about to break down to you, is the one that's sending Masha. He's the one speaking to Masha. Yah, I am. He's the one sending Masha. Now, he gave him the definition of what the meaning of our Heavenly Father's true name was in verse 14. And verse 15 is when he proclaimed the name. And this is why we see this in the scriptures, the tetragrammaton, Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. This is what appears in the scripture, okay? Without the actual vowel sounds in there. And this is what I'm going to be inserting here to give you the true name that was proclaimed right here in verse 15. Because Yahuwah said, this is my name forever, okay? So this is what we need to understand, my brothers and sisters, as I begin to break this down. So we see in verse 15 is when the name was actually proclaimed to him. And this is why we see this in the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew script. We're going to see the Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, okay, the Aramaic form of the name. But this is Hebrew, okay. So now, what we need to understand is this, my brothers and sisters. So now we understand that I am is a higher Asher, a higher. So now I'm about to go into inserting the vowels into this to give you the actual true name. Now, the first thing that we have to understand is that we see that Yah, okay, as Yahushua said, nobody can come to the Father unless they come through the Son. You see, and this has always been the case, and I'm going to prove it now. So those are the elect, those are the chosen. We understand that Yah is the Son. We understand this, but I'm just to the people that don't know, and I got a teaching that's coming on that because fresh revelation is flowing down from the Shamayim or Yah, so that teaching is coming. But so we see that I am is sending him to the people, not our Heavenly Father, but the messenger that's speaking from the burning bush, which we know is Yah, and we understand that Yah is mentioned about I believe 48 sometimes in the Old Testament. And the first time the name appeared is right here in the book of Exodus, right in Exodus chapter 15. And let's just turn over to this real quick, because I need to establish this before I begin to break the name down. Now listen, we're in Exodus chapter 15 verse 2, and it reads, And they got the Lord right here, but what actually appears right here is Yah. It says, Yah is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my Elohim, and I will prepare him an habitation. My father's Elohim, and I will exalt him. And then in verse 3, we see Yahuwah's name being mentioned now. It says, Yahuwah is a man of war. Yahuwah is his name. So we see Yah being mentioned by Masha, and we see our Heavenly Father's Yahuwah's name being mentioned by Masha right here. But the revelation came from Exodus 3:14 when Yah broke the name down to him and what our Heavenly Father's name truly meant, and he said, I'm sending you to the children of Israel, as it says, I am has sent me unto you. So he didn't say I am that I am has sent me to you. He said that I am has sent me to you. And we see here in verse Exodus chapter 15 verse 2, we see that Masha is making the connection and he calls out the name Yah. Okay, so now the reason why I'm telling you this is because Yah is what actually helps us to break the Father name down. Because we know now, as you see up here in the corner, we have Yah. We have, you can look this up in your Strong's Concordance under 3050. And you're going to see the Yo and the Hey right here. So they're going to tell you that that is Yah. So we know that with the Yo and the Hey, we got Yah right here. So this is the first part of our Heavenly Father's set apart name. Now, the reason why Yah is so important and vital to figuring out what our Heavenly Father's true name is because if we didn't have Yah right here, then we will be debating with scholars if this was a E or not. Because you may see when you go to 3068, they got Yehovah in there. So the first thing that we have to understand is that without Yah, we will be going through debates with scholars about what these first two letters mean right here, the Yo and the Hey right here. We will be debating what letter actually goes right here. But since we know that 3050 for the Yo and the Hey is Yah, we understand that this is Yah right here. Okay? So we understand that this is Yah. Okay? So we understand that Yah, which is Yo and Hey, means Yah. And we understand that I am right here, the first part of our Heavenly Father's name right here when he said in Exodus 3:14, I am that I am. So if we know that Yah means the Yo and Hey right here, we know that down here for the first part of the name right here when he gave him the definition of our Heavenly Father's name, meaning that I am that I am. And just to give you some clarification, when he's giving us the definition of our Heavenly Father's name and he's letting them know I am that I am, what he's basically letting Masha know is that you're dealing with the creator of the universe, which means to cause to exist. Or the self-existent one. He's letting Masha know that I'm the one that caused to exist, meaning that everybody is on this earth because I made that to happen. Okay, I've made the grass to grow, the sun in the sky. I caused all of this stuff to exist. Everything that you see, I'm the one caused this to exist. So this is what we have to understand about our Heavenly Father name, which I'm about to break down, which is Yahuwah. When he says I am that I am, we understand when we look up Ahaya. When we look up the word Ahaya right here, which we see is the Hebrew 1961, okay, it lets us know that to become or come to pass, okay? So we need to understand that our Heavenly Father is letting us know that I caused all of this stuff to exist. Okay, so in verse 14, he gave the definition of what our Heavenly Father's true name really meant. And through that, this is how we find out what this is. So now that we know that Yah, which is 3050, where you see the Yo and the Hey at, that means Yah. We understand that the first part of our Heavenly Father's true name is Yah. So I'm going to put that in there. We understand that that's Yah. So let's enter that. Let's go ahead and just put the A in there. So we got Yah. Okay. Now, we need to continue to finish breaking this down. So now we understand that the Yo and the Hey right here is Yah. And he said what? Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. So whatever is in the front has to be in the back right here. Okay? Because he said what? I am that I am. So if we know that this is Yah right here in the front, because we understand through Yah that this is Y-A-H, meaning Yah, then this has to be in the back. But of course, we can't put Yah right here. So we have to look through the Hebrew language and see what root word would fit right here that means the same as Yah. Because he said, I am that I am. Okay? And this is very important because this is why you see the tetragrammaton, the YHWH, because the back part has to go with the front part, the first root of the name, which we know is Yah, because it can't be Yah. So it has to, whatever this is, has to line up with Yah, and it has to mean the same exact thing. So now we see that down here, I have where we got Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. We have the Hebrew number up here, which is 1933. And when you look down here into the corner, we see that 1933 means Hawa. Okay, so we understand that the Y is interchangeable with Yah, and it means the same thing. When we look up 1933, which it means to breathe, to be in sense of existence. Okay, meaning the same thing as Yah. So now we can go ahead and put the A in here. Okay, because we understand that Yah and Y means the same thing. Okay, so let's understand that. Now, in modern day Hebrew, they have the V in here instead of the W. We understand that there is no V in the ancient Hebrew. This is a modern day addition to the Hebrew language. So we understand that the actual true letter that's there is W, which is Y. Okay, so now we have Yah and Y, and we understand that it means the same thing. It means to exist or cause to exist. So we have both of these together now, and we have Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. Okay, so we done took care of the Ahaya here and the Ahaya here, the I am and I am. But he said Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. So now we have to figure out what is this letter that goes in here. Okay, because we're not done yet. So now that we know that he said Asher, which Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya, which is the Hebrew 834, we understand that that means that, who, this, or those. We have to find out what Hebrew word will actually fit in here, because we have to put one more vowel in here, and I'm gonna get to some of the Hebrew technicalities once I finish breaking this down. So now we look over here and we see 1931, which is Hu. The Hu is where we get the Yahuwah from. We get the Hu from 1931, and we understand that this is the only Hebrew word that will fit into this right here and mean the same. Now this Hu, when you look it up, is going to let you know that it means the same thing, which is the Hebrew 1931, and it means it's the same as she, herself, such, that, it, these, they, this, those, which is who. So we understand that when he said I am that I am, we understand that who is the only Hebrew word that will fit inside of here and give us the seventh vowel right here, which is the U, as we see the who right here. So this is how we get the U right here, the who. And this is how we break this down. We have Yahuwah. Okay, we have the two roots, which when he said Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya, we have the I am and the I am, which is Yah and Y, and then we have that, which is Hu, and we have the Hu right here. You see what I'm saying? Now we have the three syllables. We have Yahuwah. Okay, we have the three vowels in there. Okay, so what we need to understand is that we have the two root words. We're making a three-syllable word. We have three vowels in here, the A and the U, which are the letters that were in the ancient Hebrew alphabet. And now, my brothers and sisters, what we need to understand is that this W right here, as we figuring out what the sacred name is, this W right here. Now, what we need to understand is that the W in Hebrew it's like a double letter. Okay, it can count as a consonant or it can count as a vowel. Okay, it's a double letter. So what it's doing is that the W is standing here in place for the U that goes in here and the W. And this is why when you look in names like, and I just, it's plenty more names, but I just put one name up here that we can go to, which is Isaiah. And we see the Hebrew up here. My drawing ain't all that good, but you know, we have the Yo, the Shin, the An, the Yo, the Hey, and the Y right here. So what we see, my brothers and sisters, is that we come with Yasha Yahu, and we see that in the name of the prophets and the men of old. When you have the Yo, Hey, and the Y right here, you get Yahu. So there's no way that you're gonna have Yo, Hey, Y right here, and you just gonna have you're not gonna have no U there. You're not gonna have that UW right there, because this is what the W is there for. The W is a double letter. What you gotta understand, in Hebrew, you have letters that double as a consonant and as a vowel, and the W is one of them. Okay, and in your modern day, they have changed the W to a V, but I'm not even gonna waste time on that, because we understand that there is no V in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. There is none in there. There was none in there then. There's not none in there now. But they're adding V's now as they are going in and tampering with the language, and putting all they're taking away from the name so that you can never come up to what the true name is, which is Yahuwah. Okay, so this is what we need to understand, my brothers and sisters. Now, this is so important with Yah, because see, Yah, if we never knew what Yah was with Yo, Hey, we would never know what the first two parts of our Heavenly Father name is. They would be telling us that it's Yehovah or Jehovah. Okay, so Yah kills that, and it's right here in your Strong's Concordance at 3050. So we know we have Yah. We have Yah right here in the Father's name. We have the Who right here, and then we have the Y right here. Okay, Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. You see, Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. I am that I am, my brothers and sisters. And I think that should be simple enough for you to understand that the name can only be Yahuwah. Okay? Because for the U right here, the Asher, there is no other Hebrew word but who that will fit in there and mean the same as that or who. You see, this is the only Hebrew word, 1931. So as you look up here, we have Yah, then we have who, and then we have Y right here. You see, Yah, who, Y. Okay, just like he said, Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. Okay, so this is what we got to understand, my brothers and sisters. We got two roots here, which was Yah and Y, and once we add the pure Hebrew vowel that go here, which is the U, okay, we get Yahuwah. Okay, we get a three syllable word here now. You see, because we have two root words right here. Okay, so now we have Yahuwah. And there's no other name that will fit into what Yah revealed to Masha at the burning bush when he told him Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya, meaning I am that I am. Okay, so now let's erase a little bit of this up here and put the other names up here and see if they stand the test of time. Okay. Oh, I did. I have saw. Trying to think. What other names have I seen? We got. Okay, so let's just go ahead and just start breaking this down right here. Now, we're gonna match these names up. What was said at the burning bush, which is Ahaya Ashahaya, meaning I am that I am, and then we have the block tetragrammaton right here, which you see in your modern day script, the Yo, Hey, Why, Hey, the YHWH, and we're gonna put it to the test and see what it says. We have Yahweh up here. This is a familiar name that most people, different Hebrew sects are operating under. They operate under this name over there in modern day Israel. But let's examine Yahweh. Let's look at Yahweh by what was said in the set apart scriptures at Exodus 3:14 and Exodus 3:15, because we understand that what's appearing in the set apart scriptures, the Yo, Hey, Why, Hey, the YHWH, this is what we have there. And now we have Yahweh here. So now if we line Yahweh up with what was said, I am that I am, do we get Yahweh out of that? Once we add the pure Hebrew vowels and the sound to the of the name Yahuwah, do we get that out of Yahweh? You see? So we understand that what was said in the front is in the back. When he said Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. So if this is Yah, let me put one more name up there, because we see this name. We see Yahweh. Okay, so now what we need to understand, my brothers and sisters, back to Yahweh. If he said Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya, which means I am that I am, how can you get I am that I am out of Yahweh? If you got two root words here, you have Yah and you have Way, you already missing something out of Yahweh. You're missing the you right here that goes into our Heavenly Father set apart name, the that part, because he said Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. So we understand that Yahweh need to have something right here in the middle for it to even contend, to even make it seem like it's even fitting in with this. So Yahweh does not even fit in with this nowhere. There's no way that Yahweh could ever be the name of our Heavenly Father, because number one, you're missing the Asher part. Where's the Asher? Even if they say, even if I give you the way, if I give you the way and say that, okay, that means to self-exist, you still missing something. You're missing the that part. All you got is I am. Even if I give you that, and we know that you can't even find this in the Hebrew Strong's Concordance. So that's Greek. It's not even Hebrew. So you can't even find this way in the Strong's Concordance. But even if I give you way, you still missing the that part, the Asher. He said Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. And when we look at the name of Yahuwah, we can get Yah, Ahaya, we can get Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya, I am, that I am. Because we understand that Yah, just like Wah, both of them means the self-existing one or to exist. And we understand that the who right here, Yahu, means that, Asher. Means the same as Asher, which is the Hebrew 1931 who. Okay? Which gives us the you. It fills in the piece of the puzzle right there. You see? So we understand that Yahweh could never line up with I am that I am. It means the self-existing one. Like we got right here with Yahuwah. It's no way that Yahweh is the name of the Father. So we understand that Yahweh is a false name. And Yahweh is nothing more than the worship of Jupiter. All you have to do is look this up. They were worshiping false gods and false deities back in the time when those that was interjecting the name of Yahweh into the scriptures, they were worshiping false gods and false deities. The host of the Shamayim, the planets and stuff. Jupiter, that's what Yahweh means. It means Jupiter. Okay? That does not mean I am that I am, the self-existing one. It could never fit in with this, like how we just put Yahuwah together with everything that we have from the set apart scriptures. Yahweh would never fit in there, because you got two things going on. You're missing the Y back here, which they would tell you that it's silent, but then you ain't even got the Asher part in there. That it don't even fit in there. So this is a false name. You got Yahweh. Some people say Yahweh. Okay, they take this, they put the A in there, and they say Yahweh. But what is the problem here? He did not say I am. He said I am that I am. So where is the Asher at in there? There's nothing in between here signifying the Asher. So all you got up here is I am. And the brothers that's teaching under this name, you're close, but you're not all the way there yet. You're missing something in the middle, the who part, which means that. So Yahweh is a false name. We could just mark this out. You know, so the brothers that's teaching under these names right here, Yahweh and Yahuwah, you know, it's time to go back to the drawing board, because from Exodus 3:14 and 3:15, we get all the information that we need to know what our Heavenly Father's true name is. Okay? Now, you got people that's teaching under the name Yahweh. And you know, in Yahweh Shai, and I'm gonna deal with that when I do the son name, but we missing something here, brothers. You close, and I see how the brothers break this name down, and what they do is they try to take Hawa, which is the Hebrew 1933. They take this and they just add Yah to it. Okay, so you are in direct error with that, because when we look up the Ha right here, we cannot find that in the Hebrew as a word or meaning anything. You can get no definition for this Ha right here. So we understand that it could never be Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, as they call the Son. I'm not dealing with the Son today. I'm dealing with the Father's name. So we understand that this is incorrect right here. There is no A that goes in the middle right here. We understand that that is you. Okay? Because why? We got Hebrew 1931, which means you. That means that, who, this, and so forth. And we understand that with this Ha right here in the Yahweh, you cannot find that. This is not even a word that means nothing. You see what I'm saying? So, my brothers and sisters, this is a false name right here. And the brothers that's teaching under this name right here, it's time for you to go back to the drawing board. Because how are you going to take the Hebrew 1933 Hawa and then just add Yah to it and then come up with Yahweh, you know, from the tetragrammaton and say that that's the name? You would have to do that for the whole name, my brothers and sisters, if you're going to take the Hebrew 1933 and just add the YA to it, the Yah to it, and say that this is the Father name. Come on, my brothers and sisters, it's time to wake up. It's time to start using logical sense, because that's all it takes here to figure out what our Heavenly Father's true name is. Okay? We understand this. It's simple. Now listen to this. So we can just go ahead and mark this name out. Yahweh. It's a false name. So now, they got Yehovah. And these are going to be pretty simple right here, because number one, we know that the first part of the name is not Y. We know the first part of the name, Yeh, this is not the Father's name, because we know what? We know that 3050 is Yah. So we understand that it could never be Yehovah, because we understand that there is no V. It could never be Jehovah, because the name starts with a J, and this is not the name, and there is no J in the original Hebrew. So we understand that these are false names right here. I don't even have to waste my time breaking these names down. If, like the Jehovah's Witnesses, they operate under a false name, you see, because they acknowledge that they see this, they see the tetragrammaton in the scriptures, and they acknowledge it as being YHWH, okay? But if you look in the back of their books, they'll tell you that they see that the name means that it's YHWH or JHVH. So my thing is this. If you don't know what this is, how could you come up with the name of Jehovah if you telling me you don't know what this is? You saying that it's YHWH. We know that this is what appears in the script, but you saying that it's YHWH or JHVH. If you can't tell me what this is, how could you come up with the name of Jehovah if you don't know what this name is? So that lets me know that you got a false name, or you know what the name is, and you're not trying to tell the people what the true name is, because this is the only way you can come up with this. You see what I'm saying, my brothers and sisters? It's time to use logical sense. If you don't know what this is, you telling me that you don't know what this is, you can't break this name down, how could you come up with Jehovah? So my brothers and sisters, Jehovah's Witnesses is a false religion. You have created a name is what you're telling me. Because if you acknowledge that this shows up in the set apart scriptures, the block Aramaic, Hebrew, tetragrammaton, you see this in the set apart scriptures, and you acknowledge it to be the YHWH, how could you come up with JHVH and then come up with the name of Jehovah, but you can't even tell me what this is, and you get Jehovah from this? You see what I'm saying, my brothers? It's time to start using logical sense and quit being duped by these false teachers and these false prophets. So I'm not even going to waste no time on these, because we know that Yehovah, and all of that are false names, because there is no O, there is no E in Hebrew. False names. If you're teaching under Yahweh, Yahweh, Jehovah, Yahuwah. Those are all false names, my brothers and sisters. Now, I got one more name that I want to deal with, because I believe that this is the most controversial name out there, and it's Yahuwah. Okay, now you will see brothers operate under the name of Yahuwah. Okay, and they say that this is the Father's true name right here, and that there was no W or whatever. But if we look up here through the if we look back in the history right here, you still have the Yahweh. Okay, as I told you in the beginning of this teaching, this still means Y. In Aramaic, you have the Yod right here. That's in the little the Yod symbol right here, which this means Y. This means Y also. Okay. So now we have the W right here, and the W is represented by the Y, and we have this symbol right here, which is the Y. Okay. And they're going to tell you that this is the Y. Now we understand that as you begin to do your research and you look up the Y. They will let you know that the Y comes from the W or whatever. Okay, so what I explained to you when I was breaking this name down is that the W is a double letter. It can represent a consonant or a vowel. It's a double letter, and we see here that in the name of Yahuwah, we see that it's representing a double letter, the consonant and the vowel. So the problem with this name right here is this. If you take the two roots right here, if I just break this down in half, you have two roots. You have Yah and you have Uah. Okay? You don't even have the Asher in there now. You have removed that. You see, you don't have I am that I am, a higher Asher higher, because now you only have two roots. You basically just have I am and I am. And this Uah, you cannot look this up. This does not match with nothing. You see, like the Y, we can go to the Hebrew 1933 and look up Y, and it's going to let us know to exist, just like Yah. So we cannot, number one, we cannot look this up. Number two, if you're saying that there was no W, that the W is represented by the W, why don't you have a W in here? You see, why don't you have another U in here to make your point? You know what I'm saying? But you can't, because it would be foolish. It would be ignorant. It don't even match up. So what I'm showing you, my brothers and sisters, is that these are false names that brothers are operating under. You know, because there's no way that you're going to get your Yahuwah out of I am that I am, a higher Asher higher. Because as I told you, if I give you this, it has two root words. Where is the Asher at? Where are you getting it from? You see what I'm saying, my brothers and sisters? We can go down here. We got Yah, we got Hu, and we got Y right here, because the W is a double letter. And when you do your research and you look at the Hebrew, you have letters that double as letters and as consonants and vowel. And the W, the Y, which we get the Y out in the back of the name, the W, it doubles as a double letter. So we have the consonant and the vowel right here. Okay? So I mean, we're right in tune with Hebrew grammar. And as I'm saying, my brothers and sisters, this is just a false name. There's no way that you can take this and get what Moshe said at what was revealed to him at the burning bush. Ahaya Ashahaya. You cannot get that out of Yahuwah. Okay? So, my brothers and sisters, I hope that you understand that this is all you need to figure out what the Father's name is. Okay? Because in 3:15, when he proclaimed the name, and we know the name was Yahuwah, this name has to match what was said in Exodus 3:14, and it has to line up with Ahaya Ashai, meaning I am that I am. And we get all of that out of Yahuwah. Okay? We get all of that. So, my brothers and sisters, if you are teaching under the name of Yahuwah, you're teaching under the name of Yahweh, you're teaching under the name of Yahweh, Yehovah, whatever these false Babylonian names is, if you are teaching under these different names, then those are false names and you are leading people down the wrong path. And I have to do teachings like this because Yahuwah is calling it not only to to the world of Christianity and Islam, but he's calling also to these different Hebrew Israelite sects. Judaism. All of these different sects that's out here teaching under these false names, and want to be teachers. You see, it's time for us to start using logical sense. It's time for us to start doing true research, because once we break this stuff down, the proof is in the pudding, my brothers and sisters. You see, once we take the name and we bust it down and we use the scriptures and what we have from Strong's, far as giving us the definition, far as what the Hebrew meanings is, and the what the root words mean, we can come directly into the true understanding of what our Heavenly Father set apart name is. You see, we don't need scholars, are the ones that have put the book together. And Yahuwah already said that he's going to bring the wisdom of the wise man to nothing. He's going to make it look like nothing, because they put this book together. They let us know that 3050 is Yah, but then they're going to turn around and tell us that 3068 they're going to have Yehovah up in there, or Jehovah. How can you get that from out of? It's the same thing, my brothers and sisters. This is still there in the set apart scriptures, the Yod, Hey, Wah, Hey. So if we know that Yah, the first part of the first part of the name, the first two letters, which is the Yod, Hey, means Yah, then we know it could never be Yehovah or Yeh nothing. You see, this is why Yahushua said, in order to get to the Father, you got to go through me. It's always been like that. And this is what we need to understand, my brothers and sisters. All it takes is a little research. When you put the names to the test, they do not stand up whatsoever. We can never get I am, that same meaning out of Yahweh. This is what the scholars, the Sanhedrin, has interjected in the set apart scriptures. You see? So, as me being a servant of the Most High, my brothers and sisters, we have put the names to the test. We see that Yahuwah is a false name. It could never be that name, because you're missing something. You see, and when I do the teaching on the Son, it's going to be very powerful, because all that they're doing is taking from the Father name and creating all of these false names. When you go back to the original, you get the pure and the authentic, you get the true name. You mean to tell me that scholars can break everybody else's name down, but then you telling me that, right here in the Strong's Concordance, that you got for 3050 Yah, but then when we go to our Heavenly Father set apart name, where they are saying at 3068 is Yehovah, and you still got Yehovah, and you still got the Yo and the Hey there, and we understand the first part is Yah. I mean, you got to be mentally retarded to believe that could be the name if they're telling you that Yo Hey is Yah. So we know the first part of our Father's name is Yah, and it could be nothing else but Yah in the first part of His name, as we got here. You see, so this is what the messengers is here to do. We're here to zero in on this stuff. We see the technicalities. We see where scholars have been leading people down the wrong path for generations into all of these different false names. You see, and this is why in Revelation, when it said that this beast, this nation, had names of blasphemy, this is what these names is. Because none of them names match up with I am that I am, Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. You see? So it's time to stop with all the foolishness. All it takes is logical sense to break this stuff down. If you operate under the name Yahweh, you got way on the back. If you said Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya, it's got to be the same thing in the back, and we know that. Why?